Now, James? I think your mic may be muted.
Is muted? Okay. What about now?
Okay. Yeah, there we go. There we go. And it looks like we may be live. Jerome, if you want to let us know when we're in the house, you let us know. But James, you are at home though, right? Wait, you're muted again. I think something keeps hitting your mute button.
It seems like a screen just keeps
Okay.
popping.
Okay. Let's see. That may be it. We're
Okay.
gonna, for some reason, every time I ask if you're at home, it's like the camera's like, mute them.
I'm
Okay,
at
well, it looks
home.
like, okay, good, because we can't make a house call without you being at home. So let's go ahead and get started, guys. Welcome to House Call in the House Media. I'm Symphony Thompson. I have the pleasure and the honor of being in the house with Mr. James Worthy, who is
What's up?
more than worthy, more than worthy.
Thank
How
you.
are you? How are you feeling?
I'm good. I'm good. Staying busy, staying productive, staying safe out the way.
Absolutely. And we can dive right into there. How are you doing during these times? I know right now we're facing, a pandemic, but also, our pandemic that we've been facing for. So how are you doing during these crazy times?
I'm doing good. Just keeping positive. Working on different projects, staying consistent. Um, we really can't do a lot of things traditionally, so we just got to get creative.
Absolutely. What are you doing to stay mentally healthy? Because I mean, most times we're in the house, when you go out, it just nothing is the same. Everything's completely
Yeah, it's
different.
crazy, man. Just keeping positive energy around, as much as possible. Good people around. Not too many people, but just
Right.
good people that you trust and can bring some good energy to you. Just praying a lot. Just trying to stay sane. That's the best way to put it.
It honestly it is because it's like when you step outside, like nothing, like even going to the store, like you forget that, oh, let me run to the car to get a mask or
Yeah, it's crazy.
nothing looks the same. Yeah,
You gotta adapt. You gotta adapt.
absolutely. And I do think that's important, especially to stay mentally healthy because as we know in our community, we can definitely do better with that. So I always like to touch on that so we can be examples to show like, hey, we all go through it, but we just have to set up the proper protocols to make sure that we can attack it before we reach that point. So I appreciate you sharing that. Surround yourself with good vibes, good people, obviously
Positive
good
vibes
music.
on.
Absolutely. Only nothing else, nothing
Only.
less. So is that also how you've been staying creative is just by the people that are around you? Because I know you actually, posted that, it's hard during these times, especially what's going on within our community. I mean, it's
Yeah,
been going on, but now it's, on the forefront. How,
yeah.
how are you staying creative through, through that? Because I know you expressed that.
I mean, same concept. Just good people, whether it's in person or online or via phone, whatever it is. Just keeping that positivity and having people that can uplift you. You know what I mean,
Hmm.
or inspire you. Like I get a kick out of people who can inspire me or show me some new stuff or give me new ideas or whatever. You know what I mean? Because
Right.
sometimes do everything yourself, you either second guessing yourself or you just don't have a lot of motivation. It could be a lot of different factors. So I just try to, take bits and pieces from everything, and put it in the
Yeah.
pot.
Absolutely. So I know you mentioned, frustration, in your post just from everything. So like, what are you gearing that frustration and anger towards during these
Um,
times?
I mean, there's just so much going on in the world, I mean, from politics to life to just people, just so much stuff going on and it is frustrating, it's frustrating to see, frustrating to deal with it, you know. Sometimes you gotta let it out. You can't let it fester in. That's just with any
Absolutely.
period. Like you can't let things fester in your heart or in your spirit. Because once you do that, you go crazy.
And how do you do that? So is that through your music, through those that are around you? Because I think it is important because people are going through that at home right now. So
Yeah.
what are some examples or some feasible ways that people can let it out health in it, in a healthy way?
For me personally, it's through my music. It's through my words, through my writing, whether it's for me or other people. It's like my therapy in a way.
Absolutely.
To put things in perspective in artistic format, or musical format, you know, versus me just going to see a therapist or talking to somebody all the time. Hey, let me just write it down and, make something more powerful than what I maybe thought it could be for,
Yeah. And that's powerful too, because even if you don't do music, writing, journaling, that has always been a good outlet to release that. But speaking of music, I know you have some new stuff. We're not gonna talk about it yet. We're gonna backtrack a little bit. So I know you've been inspired by a lot of artists, but one of the ones I always see, whether it's like your interviews or any articles, is Michael Jackson.
Oh yeah.
So can you talk, because that is amazing. I feel like there's not a lot of people that can say, I've met Michael Jackson, and he encouraged me to keep going. So can you tell us a little bit about that experience?
Man, man, I always think about it still to this day. It was just kind of a crazy thing. But I was in New York at Webster Hall. This is years and years ago. I probably was like 10 or 11 years old. And I was there with my dad. At the time, he was a bodyguard, celebrity bodyguard. And, we just had a chance to attend this event that Michael had. At the time, he was accepting an award. I always forget the name of the award or the name of the event. But we had a chance to meet him backstage. And, it was just it was so crazy because, it was just like, it was more of a get in, get out kind of thing. So, we got into the green room and then got a chance to meet him. And then he just kind of looked at me up and down. Like, I thought he was looking at me like, who the hell is this?
Who are you?
Yeah, like, who are these people? But it was like the total opposite. He was just kind of like, looked at me like he already knew me. And, just kind of told my dad, he was like, man, your son looks special. He has something. I feel the spirit. That's what he was saying. And, I was really young, so I didn't really let that resonate too much. I was just saying to myself, I'm like, oh my God, Michael Jackson. But, as time goes on, I thought about it and I'm like, yeah, that's pretty significant.
And that's beautiful too, because, sometimes they tell us, don't meet your heroes, because when you meet them, they're not going to be what you expect. So for you to be able to meet them and at such a young age and have, such an impact on your journey is beautiful. But I definitely wanted to hear about it. And I read it, but it's nothing like hearing it live, especially when you're in the house chilling.
It's still crazy to me,
Absolutely.
He was one of my idols, you know what I mean? And, when you get a chance to have that moment, it's special,
Absolutely.
And, it was just like, it was like one of the battery packs for me to really, really pursue a career in music or entertainment. Because, come on, man, if you get a nod from MJ, it got to be something.
I'm going to the top of the top of the top.
Yeah, that's the way I took it. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do.
Absolutely. I mean, you've done just that. I mean, Grammy nominated. I feel like you're in every field, but you're doing great at it. So definitely kudos to you. But let's dig into that journey, because sometimes we always see, we hear about the beginning and we hear about the end, but that middle, sometimes it's not as easy or as beautiful as it seems. Were there any times where you felt like, you wanted to give up, or, just where you hit a stump and it was just hard to conquer?
Oh yeah. Man, I remember when I was super new in the game as a songwriter and producer. And, this is early 2000s. And at the time, it was like a mixture of things going on musically, but like the popular thing was it wasn't really trap music at the time, but it was just like, the poppy stuff, like the poppy, big stadium records or R&B was like, you had to be super R&B or no R&B at all. Right. So like when I would try to submit to certain artists to work with or to certain labels, if you didn't have a specific sound that was popular at the time, then you wouldn't get any placement. at all. So it was that barrier on top of me already having, you know, my own sound that I created, that people didn't really get yet. Like they didn't really follow it, or a lot of artists said, it's kind of difficult to write to these type of productions, or I don't really like the style of song right now, blah, blah, blah. So it was kind of a roadblock for a while to really like figure out the artists who I needed to be working with, you know. So,
Right.
you know, it was just a lot of figuring out to do. But, you know, once I just kind of started getting into different circles and networking a lot more and getting more into the industry as a whole, that's when it slowly started changing to where like, okay, now I'm working with bigger artists now, and I'm getting more placements, and now I can start building my resume much higher to get to the higher up artists, you know. So it was definitely a build up.
Right. And what was your mind frame, you know, going through the process? Like, did you always know, like, yeah, I'm definitely going to make it? Like, there's no doubt in my mind? Or was it just kind of like, I'm just going to try to figure it out and piece together what I can? What was that mind frame for you?
It was really both, to be honest with you. You know, 'cause I've always been a go getter, and I've always had a lot of confidence in myself from a very young age. So, you know, even from the MJ experience, like, you know, that gave me a lot of confidence. But even really before then, like, I mean, I was just always that person to be like, I know I'm gonna be hot in anything that I do because I'm just that
Think
go.
that.
You know what I mean? So it was that, and then, you know, really like because I studied the game. Like I
Right.
remember like when I was really young, I would go to record stores every weekend, and I would just buy vinyls. I would just buy albums, like just read the credits, see who did what, like just really understand how to make records and how to write records, and you know, study the greats and study musicians that I look up to. You know, so, you know, shout out to Q-Tip and Timbaland, Pharrell, Quincy Jones, Organized Noise, Jay Dilla, like all these cats that, you know, all open up envelopes, you know, for
Right.
other people to be creative just like them. And that's what I did. So the more I got into it and studied and perfected my craft, you know, it just kept getting better.
And it seems like studying is definitely, you know, a term that you kept using. So for people that, whether, you know, they don't do music and they're just curious, like, what does that look like? Or someone that's in the middle and they're like, I want to study, but I don't know how to, you know, what exactly it looks like. What does studying music look like for you?
Studying music is for one understanding the greats. So you know, your Quincy Jones and those type of uh, musicians, to where you're understanding what they did wrong, you're understanding what they did right, you're understanding the level of artists that they've worked with, to where you know what their contribution was, but you know the level of genre bending that
Mm,
they were a part of to transcend to other types of music. Because nowadays we're in a space to where you can't even classify what certain songs are anymore because there's so many different things.
that just clicked.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
years
absolutely.
ago, it wasn't like that because it wasn't the creative control with that, or it wasn't that futuristic.
Right.
So with me, like even early 2000s, like, you know, when I was creating my sound, I always thought of the next level. I'm like, okay, what can I infuse into this
Mm,
production that will not only stand out, but what are people going to say about it years from now?
right.
Like, was it something that resonated? You know, like that was always in my mind. But I've learned that from people that came before me.
Right. Absolutely. And I love that. I love how specific you were too. So before we move on, what is some specific advice you can give someone that's in your, because you know, we always get the generic, you know, like work hard, like, you know, the keep going. It's just like I'm
Right.
working hard and I'm going. But what's some specific advice that you can give someone?
Specific advice. I mean, of course, you got to work hard. That's the inevitable.
Hmm.
But you got to really understand the business that you're getting into.
I was hoping you say
There's
that.
a
I
lot of
was
people
hoping
that
you say
want
that.
to be in the music business or just the entertainment business, and they really don't know what that means. They
Right.
don't know what it takes to actually be in it for a career. And there's a difference between having a career in it and just doing it. Because
Mm,
there's a lot of people that I want to be a rapper, I want to be a singer, I want to be a producer, I want to be a songwriter. And that's great. But you got to have the drive, the passion, the creativity, and the consistency within that. Because if you
mm,
don't have any of those, then for one, you don't believe in your talent.
right.
Number two is we're in a very congested industry right now. So there's millions of artists coming out. There's tons of producers, tons of songwriters. So what's your niche? What's your niche? What's making you
Yeah.
stand out? What's making me say, hey, let me check this person out because they got something that's just, I don't know, it's just either something about it or they're just doing something different that I like or whatever it is. You got to find it. And if you don't find it, then you're going to fall right into that shuffle.
Absolutely. And that's coming from Mr. James Worthy himself. So take those, write it down, and go study. Don't
And
say we
trust
didn't
me,
give you
because
nothing.
I've been through it. Trust me, I've been through the whole nine. It took me a while to find my niche, and it took me a while to find out, okay, this is who I am as so and so, and this is what I really, really want to do in this game. You know what I mean? This is never gonna come overnight. Like anybody that tells you something came overnight in the music business, they lie to you.
Absolutely. Yep.
They lie to you. Everything is a process. Everything is a process. From writing, from producing, to putting out music, to touring, whatever it is a process.
Absolutely. And I always say great things take time. The Great Wall of China was not built in a day. So anything great definitely takes time. And obviously you are definitely a product of that. So
I
we
appreciate
love we love you and appreciate you. Now,
you.
speaking of your niche, I think what we have 2 days before
Today,
gold mine drops. 2 days before gold mine. So we're gonna go and tap into that. So that's what Jay Holiday. So let's
yes,
start. How did that collaboration even take place, especially during the world shut down? Like we
I
have a whole
know.
thing. How did that happen?
Everybody has asked me like, how did that collaboration came about? Because Jay Holiday, he doesn't really do a lot of collaborations.
Yeah.
So, man, shout out to Jay Holiday, man, a good guy. That's like my bro. We've known each other for quite some time, and we've uh, we've just been in the same circles. You know what I mean? Same paths, same circles. We know a lot of the same people in the industry, and it was just a time to where, like, I was thinking I wanted to do something for R&B that really no one has really heard yet from
Mm,
Jay Holiday. But it wasn't at first. It wasn't even really about Jay Holiday. It was just something I just wanted to do for me and just open up the envelope for R&B.
right.
And it was just more of a continuation of what I did on my last project, Kaleidoscopes, to where I had did a record on there called "Go and Get It," which was myself, Ray Lavender, and Rough Hands. And that was just my version of an all-star R&B record. So I said, well, we did that, and it came out great. So I want to keep that going, but I want to
Right.
do something fresh. So I was thinking about who would I want to do a collaboration with in that vein, and I thought about it. I said Jay Holiday because we never did a collaboration together before.
Mhm.
Well, we never did a record together before. So I hit him up. I said, "Hey, man, it's been a long time. We got to do something." And he was with open arms. He was with
That's
open.
dope.
He's a great guy, stand up guy, and we just got it done. And we birthed Goldmine.
That is dope. So I know we got 2 days before we actually hear the whole song.
Yes.
But where like the lyrics, what inspired these lyrics? I know you said you want to do something different for R&B, but like that the specific lyrics. What inspired
Yes.
that?
So gold mine is a metaphoric way to appreciate our queens, right?
Wait a minute. Just say it one more time. Just say it one more time for the people in the back that
One
didn't
more
hear
time.
you. Just one more time.
Gold mine is a metaphorical way to appreciate our queens, right? Just like you. You're a queen,
I
right?
appreciate that, King.
So I wanted to write, and shout out to Ray Lavender, not Ray Lavender, sorry, Ray Fonder. Shout out to Ray Fonder, all these Rays.
I know, right?
Shout out to my boy Ray Fonder. He's a co-writer on this song with me. And we wrote the song in a sense of I wanted the lyrics to be very, very direct, but very metaphoric in what we're explaining. So for example, when you hear my first verse come on, it says that I got me a diamond, I got me a pearl. Very simple,
Right.
but metaphoric in the rest of the verse. So I like to pinpoint that because I think we should just give that respect. You know,
Absolutely.
and also too, you know, gold is also very timeless. You know what I mean?
Come on.
Gold is treasure. You know what I mean? So we wanted to treat the song as such.
Oh, well, look, I can, if you want to like leak it, just like a day and a half early,
You know what?
leak it
Actually, I kind of already did that.
Ooh,
So I gave a lot of my fans a leak on my SoundCloud.
Oh.
So yes, actually, if you go to James Worthy Music on SoundCloud, the record is available.
Oh, everybody, we're gonna go ahead and end this now, and let's just go ahead and go to SoundCloud because I want to hear it now. I'm gonna definitely listen to it after. As soon as we hang up, I'm going to SoundCloud.
Yeah.
So we don't even have.
It's just a real sexy song, real sexy vibe. Real R&B. I'm really, really proud of it. I'm proud of this record. It's one of my favorites, and I think y'all gonna like it.
Oh well, we definitely appreciate what's behind it. If you want to, play a little snippet, we're okay with that at any time. At any time.
I need y'all to go to SoundCloud and go listen to it.
We're all gonna go to it. Promise you. As soon as we. But speaking of sexy lyrics and the woman, it's hard to listen to R&B and not think of that union, that type of relationship. The love life. So is Mr. James Worthy inspired by his current love life? What does that look like?
And I get that question a lot too. I am a single man. But
Ladies.
by choice. I'm just in a space right now in my life to where I have to focus on James right now, and I would never want to bring somebody into a space to where I'm not ready for yet. So and of course I go out on dates here and there, and just because sometimes it's hard to find that person that you gel with, and especially somebody in the industry that I'm in. You got to find somebody that understands that and knows, what that entails. That takes a lot.
So if we see Mr. James Worthy out on a date, then we know what's going on. He's, just weighing the options right now. Doesn't necessarily mean he's
to put it in that perspective. Yeah, just weighing it. Not too
okay, and nothing too crazy. And that's okay. We're not gonna dig too deep. But are there any of your songs?
Crazy nowadays, it'd be some stories coming out. He dated such and such. Like, yeah, come on, bro.
And you have to be careful because even like you have different outlets that will literally take like little screenshots of like, oh, look in the back, look at that counter, and look at this, and that just goes crazy. So yeah, you got to be careful out here.
Oh yeah.
But do you have any songs that have been inspired by any of your previous? Because I know some of our greatest artists, it's some of their favorite songs are inspired because of a relationship or something. Do you have a specific song that's maybe like your favorite that we don't have to know who it is, but that was inspired by a past relationship?
I've had some some records off my first project, Blue Leisure, that was inspired by some relationships that I had. For example, there's a record on there called How Many Times, myself and Tony Terry. That was definitely a relationship inspired record. Another record called Oceans with me and Kalina from Dirty Money. That's another one. So there's been a couple that I've kind of sprinkled around here and there. But a lot of my records just come from not only that, but it comes just from experiences from other things, of course.
Right.
Things that I've seen with other people, relationship wise, that can be similar to me in a way.
Right.
So I just, go through those different, textures of, lyrical content and that aspect too. So it just depends.
Okay. Well, we definitely love your music. So whatever inspires it, thank you to the universe and to the people that help inspire that. Is there anyone that you're looking forward to? I know you've collaborated, I know, with Jay Holiday, but is there anyone that you're looking forward to collaborating with, or that we can foresee you possibly collaborating with?
Well, actually, I'm working on my debut album right now.
Oh, that's what I was hoping we were gonna hear.
Yeah, we're working on the album. Man, some great music already that we're crafting, and just really just trying to figure out who those collabs would be next. But I really, really want to do a record with The Weeknd. I'm a huge Weeknd.
Oh yeah.
I think he's just an amazing artist. So that's definitely on my bucket list. Erykah Badu is on my bucket list.
Oh yes, I can see that.
Man, it's so many artists.
It's hard. But those two right there are great, and I definitely can see and hear that already.
Yeah, he's on the top list.
Oh yeah. Well, we're gonna put that into the atmosphere. The Weeknd and Erykah Badu.
Call me, man. Call me.
Right. That is in the atmosphere. That is there. Well, you kind of already started dabbing into what's next, but I know, not only are you an artist, you're a producer, you're into acting. What's going on next for Mr. James Worthy? I know COVID is,
Really right now, just really focusing on Goldmine, focusing on the new album. Hopefully, if things get back to normal next year, you'll be seeing a James Worthy tour. And just continuing to be consistent in building the brand.
Awesome. Well, we definitely look forward to it. And before I let you go, actually, before we dive into our last segment, is there anything else that you want to tell the fans that you haven't told? If you want to just tell us anything.
What haven't
whether it's a message from your heart or anything that you got going on that you just haven't told us yet? Because we be waiting. We be looking at Instagram like, is he... Well, what he doing?
I just want to tell everybody, I appreciate everybody who's been rocking with me, supporting me, just showing love throughout my journey. A lot of people don't even realize that I've only been a solo artist for 2 years.
Right.
To the average consumer, they would never think that, but that just comes with, consistency. And it's definitely been an interesting journey, because I've came from the songwriting side of things to the production side. And I was a part of a group at one point, which that was actually my introduction into artistry. So breaking from that, going into being a solo artist, it's definitely been interesting, but it's been a great ride. And I just appreciate everybody that's been rocking with me since then. It's definitely not unnoticed.
Absolutely. And I know I've said it a couple times, but honestly, we do appreciate you for sharing your artistry and just really, using music to help us, because it's a lot of time, music brings us together, but it also fuels us. So thank you. And 2 days. Well, actually, mine's going to be today because I'm going to SoundCloud, right. But in 2 days, Goldmine will drop. And we cannot make a house call without digging in what's going on at home. So I know we've been quarantined for I don't even know how many days or months at this point. But what are 3 to 5 new activities that you've done in your house that you haven't done before quarantine?
I've definitely been doing a lot more home workouts.
Okay.
before, so that's definitely been a good thing. A lot more cooking at home.
Well, what's the best dish you've made so far?
The best dish. Um, I'm more of a pasta person.
Okay.
You know, I like to make pastas. Yeah,
We'll
because
keep that
I
in
love.
mind. Ladies, he likes pasta.
Yeah, I like
He likes
pasta. So
pasta.
if you want to make me happy, make good pasta. Yeah.
All right, and one more thing.
Let me see.
If you've done anything else.
Hmm. I guess maybe just home improvement. You know, just
Mm,
doing a lot of uh I guess I can call it decorating, you know, a lot
yeah,
more home decoration or good decor, you know.
that's good. Yeah, I've been gardening a lot more, getting a lot more well in the back plants. I'm
Yeah,
obsessed
yeah,
with plants now. So
yeah. I do some of that stuff too here and there. You know, just
okay.
to get I like my how should I say my vibe in my house
Yes.
a certain way. You know?
When I come in, I want to feel like real peaceful. Like when
There
like
you
I
go.
come in, I smell my plants and I'm like, oh, okay, like this
Yeah,
is
you know,
peace.
the
This is
scent
my
gotta be
nirvana.
right. You know, the energy and the vibe gotta be right. You know, I'm a big stickler of scents and candles and you know, just
Yeah.
lighting. You know, maybe that's a little too much, but I like.
No, no. I literally said it every night. There's candles, my plants. I turn the lights off, so it's just like the aura, and then
Mhm.
some good R&B, something that's just like real soothing and decompress from the day. See, come on, Mr. James Worthy.
We here already. We here already.
All right. Well, definitely stay safe. Thank you so much for letting us into your home during this house call. We definitely look forward to it. And don't forget, guys, we can jump on SoundCloud to listen to Gold Mine. But if you don't jump on SoundCloud, you got 2 days. Two
Yes,
days.
Gold Mine is officially coming out on Friday, which is the 7th. Myself, Jay Holiday, and yeah, this is for all the ladies. You know, we letting y'all know, man, y'all treasures, y'all gold mines.
And we appreciate that. How can we keep up with you?
You can keep up with me all social media at King James Worthy, all one word. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, any social media platform, I am there. And you know, just keep in touch with me. Stay tuned for all the updates that I got going on. Not only for my music, but other people that I'm working with, other collabs that I got coming out with other artists too. So you know, just keep up with me.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much again. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in to House Call with In the House Media. Once again, I'm Symphony Thompson, and I hope everybody has a good time at the house. Just chill, relax, and listen
Okay.
to some James Worthy. Just
There
listen to
you
some
go.
James
There you go.
Worthy. All right. Have a great night, James.
All right, you too.
All right. Bye bye.